Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode. Not another episode. Actually, we're doing something different for today's video. We're going to be redrawing the borders of the world. I know this is a very popular topic. Most mappers have already done it before. But I've decided that I'm going to finally do it. Let's go ahead and get into the video. And for our first thing, we are going to be redrawing the border over here in North America. We will be getting rid of this area where the U.S. has all this land here. We will be getting rid of this, and we will be giving them the whole peninsula here. So they'll be getting all of it, and I think that looks a lot better. Moving on down here to Mexico, we won't be changing anything with the U.S.-Mexican border. I like that, pretty fine. Nothing wrong with it. But down here, we will be changing the Guatemalan border here, and we will be actually giving Mexico some territory. And we will be getting rid of these little pieces right here. So boom, and boom. Still looks pretty much the same, but I say it looks better. And now we need to do more of Central America. Specifically, update this border right here between Honduras and Guatemala. I don't necessarily like the way it looks, and in my opinion, this looks a lot better already. Just didn't look too good beforehand. But these, we will actually leave alone. They're fine. Same with El Salvador. But down here, Costa Rica deserves some of this lake territory. They deserve it. After all this hard work they have with no military, they're working up an appetite for land. And that's exactly what they will do. We give them access to the coast. Next, in Panama, I think over here, we will give them this little piece of land right here. So now they have more of the Darien Gap. That doesn't really affect anything, but, you know, whatever. And that's really it for North America. Besides for Hispaniola, we will be uniting Hispaniola, because I don't think there should be a border on Hispaniola. Moving off South America, we will be uniting Guyana and Suriname, and French Guiana as well. So all of these unite into one country. And next on the list, we have Colombia. Now, I don't really like Colombia. They're fine, but, I mean, their borders could be better. Specifically, down here, I think we will do a land trade. A fair land trade. So all this land over here, a little strip of the Amazon, will go over to Colombia, but they will lose all of this land right here. So, you know, a pretty fair trade. Nothing too big. But all of this will be needed for Colombia to have. And that's already looking way better. Next, down here, Peru will be annexing Colombia. Because, Colombia, I don't know what goes on in Colombia. Probably nothing besides, like, yeah, nothing. Oh, I love that border, actually. That looks amazing. And, we will be creating a new country now, actually. A completely new one. Next, we will be bringing southern Bolivia. I believe the the municipal name is Tarja. I'm probably pronounced it wrong. But that is the country we have here. And so, yeah, basically southern Bolivia is now its own country. And the last thing of this area is this little panhandle of Bolivia, or of Colombia, needs to be gone. And there we go. That's most of South America fixed. Before I forget, Brazil will be annexing Uruguay. And there we go. There is our South American map, as well as all the Americas, I guess, completely filled in. Last thing though, Greenland will be annexed by Canada. Yeah, that ends the Americas. And in Europe, we have some big things happening. Spain annexes Andorra. Monaco over here is going to be annexed by France. San Marino and the Vatican are annexed by Italy. And Italy will also annex Malta. And Luxembourg will be annexed by Switzerland. So now all of the tiny little countries are gone, which in my opinion makes it look a whole lot better. But now we have some new stuff. First of all, the British are going to be taking all of Ireland again. Or no, Ireland will actually get all of Northern Ireland. And I think we'll leave all of the main Isle there. Over here. We're going to need to fix up that border. But Flanders, or the southern part of Belgium will go over to France, and the northern part will officially join the Netherlands. So there we go. Goodbye, Belgium. Never knew ya. Anyway, now that that's gone, Luxembourg will also be annexed by France. It's kind of bringing a lot of French Empire kind of thing here. Over here, I think every redrawing the border video I've ever seen does this, but we're actually not going to do it this time. We are going to split up Czechia and Slovakia. And this doesn't look very good for these guys, but unfortunately, Germany will be getting the Sudetenland. I know, very sad. But this time it's not imperial. They'll be doing this peacefully. That looks okay, I guess. And a little bit of Greater Hungary, I guess, we'll be going over back to Hungary. As we know, all of Slovakia used to be Hungary's, but not anymore. And we're going to draw another border here, as Poland will be getting this kind of panhandle of Czechia. And after this, they will be uniting into, this will be Slovakia Czech. It's going to be the opposite, so not like the real version, but, you know, close enough. Up here in Denmark, I always thought they should have the whole Danish peninsula. So that's what we're going to be doing, giving them the whole Danish peninsula, because I said so. And boom, all of this goes over to them. No more of that silly little border. And that looks pretty good, actually. I like that. Up here, I know a lot of people give Finland and Sweden access to the sea. That doesn't seem wise. So, you know what? We're just going to unite Sweden and Finland instead. Since Norway won't let them have the coast of the North Sea, I guess. Not the Arctic Sea, actually. Arctic Ocean. Down here, however, it will be shifting this line over to here, all the way over to this lake right here, because it looks better that way. And boom. So Finland, Sweden gain access to that lake. That looks pretty good, but now Russia will be getting some stuff, including all of Belarus, and they will be getting Latvia. Or no, yeah, this is Latvia. Yeah. The other guys, however, I don't know what to do with them. Lithuania, Poland, Lithuania is returned with Kaliningrad, and Estonia. There are two parts of Estonia now. There is island Estonia over here. This is like the Baltic Islands, so this is like its own country right here with all these 3 islands. And then we see real Estonia right there. So that's the different Estonias. And then we fix this little area over here. I always love this panhandle of Ukraine, so we will be keeping it and actually extending it. Back over to here, or well, we were just here, but Ukraine will get all of this, the coast of Romania, and Romania will be uniting with Moldova, so that looks nice and all. But now we need to move on to the Balkans, and I know this is probably going to make people mad either way, any way I do it, but we're not really, the only really, that's the main things we got to do. We're going to give Slovenia this little piece back, this little piece of land here. I don't like that Italy has it. And Austria will be uniting with Slovenia, so that was short-lived for Slovenia there. So Austria now has sea access, and Bosnia barely does. So what we're going to do is we're going to reform kind of like a Yugoslavia thing right here. In this country, we'll be taking all of northern Serbia and Montenegro. But lucky for Serbia, as Serbia will be getting Kosovo, so they got it at cost. And now they'll also annex North Macedonia, so now we have the 2 sides of the Yugoslavia. So we have northern Yugoslavia and southern Yugoslavia. And then we have Albania here, and we will be giving Albania to Greece. But Greece might be short-lived too. Because I think Turkey should be getting some land. I've always loved Turkey. Turkey is one of my favorite countries, top down, besides my own country. But we will be giving them all of Cyprus and some other lands. So, as we can see, this is mainland Turkey. They have like all of this, and then like 1 island off their coast. And that's about it. And of course I'm getting rid of Cyprus. Now, we're going to get every single one of these islands on this side, Crete, and they will be getting all of the Thessaloniki and this peninsula right here, as well as some of Bulgaria. This is what they'll get. So they'll get, they will be getting all of this land here, which is a lot of land. I'm not sure if they get Sofia, though. I might be cutting it close. Well, they do get a ton of land, like a lot of land is here that they do get. And that pretty much makes up for the collapse of the Ottoman Empire. I think that'll be fine. But over here in Azerbaijan, I think Armenia should just lose its panhandle over here. It doesn't deserve to be here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Armenia, but your days are over. Sorry, anybody who lives in Armenia. I like that part of Azerbaijan, and Russia will be annexing Georgia and this north part of Azerbaijan. So they'll take all of that. I think that looks fine. And the Ukrainian Russo thing, the claims over this. Basically, Ukraine will get this piece of land right here. So they look fuller. And Crimea, I know this is a classic trick, but Crimea will no longer exist, basically. So goodbye, Crimea. And all the people are safe in this. No one dies. Don't worry. I think that looks a lot better. And Ukraine got a little bit of territory to make up for that. But now, first of all, we need to get rid of all this red here. And we need to move on to the Middle East. And now, I know this doesn't look very good. Just bear with me for a second. As, we're going to make two major groups. On the northern part of this, there's a red group and then there is a blue group. Here we go. We have the red area and the blue area. And, I don't know, these are different countries. So one is centered around, I want to say, Iraq. Yeah, Iraq. And the other one is centered around the holy areas, like Jerusalem, I think. So they're centered around that. I don't know what religion they're under, or like who, if it's like Israel or Palestine, who's ruling it or whatever. That's for you to decide, but poor Syria. They are going to get fully annexed by Turkey. That looks better. Anyway, down south here, we see Yemen and Oman uniting, as well as the UAE uniting with them. So all of them are in a union. And that looks so much better. And Saudi Arabia, since they lost a little bit of land over to the Iraqi Kuwait thingy, they will be getting Qatar and Bahrain. So that is a better Middle East. Iran. I don't know what to do with Iran. I think we're just going to split them up into different areas. So first we're going to have like a southern area, I think. And then we'll have the north. And that seems good enough for me. So there we go. This is the new border. And it kind of overlaps with Pakistan. So you know what? So the southern piece is just going to go over to Pakistan. So now this is, you know what? This is just going to be Paki now. And up here, we are going to make a nation that can only be known as Stanistan. So I'm going to have to get that done real quick. Okay, so Stanistan is here. Afghanistan did not join, and Paki is not going to be joining because they are no longer a stand. But India is mad about this, so they're going to take their troubles out on Nepal. And Nepal, you know, they're not really, they're kind of neutral with this. They have like the new Gen Z's government, so they're probably like, I don't know what they'd even be talking about. But I'm sure they would not know how to govern maybe very well. Don't know how it's going to work anyway. But yeah, Nepal and now Bhutan are going to be joining. And Bangladesh, well, they'll be staying here, but not in the same shape, as they will lose their southern panhandle down here over to India. Actually, you know what? No, they're going to lose it over to Myanmar. So yeah, it looks kind of weird, but you're going to have to deal with it. So but we have that, and Sri Lanka is now going to get its own empire. It's going to stretch like this a little bit, maybe. But this is, and they have the Maldives as well, the underwater Maldives. But they will be getting all of this land here, which is quite a bit, actually. So hopefully they can control this. I know there is a ton of people living in India, even though most of them are up north. But they will be taking control of all this. And it works out, so we now have a Sri Lankan empire. Now we need to move on to Southeast Asia. I already did some with Myanmar, but now we're going to do even more. And Laos is going to go over to Thailand, actually. And Vietnam will annex Cambodia. So that's what the borders are looking like here. This panhandle thing, it's gonna stay like this. It's fine. Like, I like the southern border. The northern border is not good. So, to redraw it, we're going to be doing this, actually. So the panhandle is still kind of there, but instead of more of a southern one Myanmar has, they have more of a northern one. So that's kind of cool. And Thailand is massive, but Malaysia will be getting Singapore and Brunei. I'm sure they'll be fine for that. Maybe not like the Brunei's or the Singaporeans. Indonesia, I just like Indonesia. I think it's cool. They definitely have some countries they can take over, so they'll be taking over East Timor. So it's kind of like an obvious one. And they will be taking over Papua New Guinea. And during this, Bougainville will get independence. So, Bougainville, hooray, celebrate. That's Bougainville right there. And anyway, down here, these island countries, they're all just going to unite, is what we're going to say. And Australia, New Zealand, nothing's really going to happen there. But up north, China and Taiwan, don't really know what's going to go on with that. We're going to say the Philippines annex Taiwan. And the Koreas will be united under China. You know what? No. North Korea will be united under China. And South Korea will still be here as normal. Sakhalin, right here on this island, will be going over to Japan. Not even like the parallel, the 90th parallel, or whatever parallel that was. We're going to actually be updating it, and it's now the border's going to look like that now. Fix it, baby. There we go. So, Stockholm is fixed. Yeah, no. Anyway, it's just gonna go all over to Japan, and Mongolia. We'll be getting some of Inner Mongolia because of North Korea, the Chinese got. So they will be getting this little piece right here, and I guess some of that right there. And you know, might as well give them all of this. That looks about right. All of this land right here goes over to Mongolia. And I don't know how China will be feeling about this. Probably angry. But they got North Korea, so I guess that's okay. But now that that's happened, we need to look over at Africa. So starting off, Western Sahara, not shown as independent on this map. But let's say Morocco fixes their issues, and that's what we're gonna do for them. But I'm gonna have Algeria and Tunisia uniting, which I think would look good on the map, potentially. Over here, we're going to have a new country. That's going to be like the northern Mediterranean country, which will be just Libya and Egypt uniting. So, yeah, nothing like that border I showed before. But you know, now we have two North African, like, kind of Mediterranean countries, which is cool. But down here, this thing right here, this bump, might as well make it bigger, because you know what, there's no point for being here. So we're just gonna increase its size, just like that. Looks a lot better. Now over to Mauritania and Mali. Yeah, they're just uniting. These guys are way too weak to be surviving out here. Got like no population. And man, that curve looks good. Yeah, that's better. Down here, Burkina Faso and Niger uniting. So a lot of uniting here. But down here, Benin will be annexed by Nigeria. And meanwhile, the rest of these countries are going to be forming one big country. So, the rest of these, yeah, they just all unite into one big country. So, Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Côte d'Ivoire, Senegal, of course, and the Gambia too, will all be uniting into this one big country right here. Just like so. That looks good. So yeah, one big country there, and a lot of uniting, but down here there's going to be a big change. Down here, Zimbabwe, or no, this is not Botswana, will be annexing this Namibian piece of land right here. So Namibia kind of loses its shape, but that is fine. Up here, the DRC will be handing over, Angola will be handing over its thingy up here. So you know, that's nice and all. Equatorial Guinea will go over to Cameroon just to make Guinea-Bissau mad. And now these two will not be uniting because I like their borders. But up here, a big union will take place between Uganda, Kenya, and South Africa just to make them all a little bit stronger. So that happens. Up here, we're going to unite all of these together in one big union in between all these guys. So this is the Horn of Africa Union. Horn of Africa Union. Of course, it kind of is missing Kenya, but you know what, that's fine. Tanzania will be getting Rwanda and Burundi. Down here, all of these countries will be coming together. So, all these guys will be coming together. But, funnily enough, we don't see Eswatini or Lesotho joining on this. So now there's one big union. Madagascar also joins on this, as well as Mauritius and the other countries over there. And Zambia, and I guess Malawi can unite, you know, we'll give them something. And hopefully this increases stability down here. Maybe not, we'll just have to see. But that does it for redrawing the borders of the world. So if you enjoyed today's video, show your support. Just want to say this, this was purely a ragebait video, so please do not get mad by any of this. This is not like my actual standpoint on anything. I started out the video in the Americas, just like going normal, kind of easing into it, not really doing too much that would like make people mad, like over here. I got a little bit crazier in South America, but Europe is where I really hit it hard. I know the British Isles being united, separated. Sweden and Finland uniting. The thing with Russia is where I really kind of started it, and like that weird Baltic state. So, if you enjoyed today's video, like I said, show support, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.